Greetings everyone and welcome to High Review today. Let's have a look at what made the headline this week. Cameroonian youths nationwide celebrate the 58th edition of the National Youth Day celebration with a call to embrace impact substitution. In his traditional address to the youths on February 10th, President Paul Biya prescribed self-employment as a cure to rising youth unemployment in the country. High Review today, amongst others, re-echoes the different messages and activities that marked Youth Day celebration in Cameroon this year. And that is our main headline today. Many thanks for choosing High Television to be informed. You have details and more right ahead. Welcome back. We begin High Review today on a sad note as a widow has died following a collapse of an extension of a three-story building in Data South neighborhood in the southwest region, capital Buea. The incident that occurred midweek was blamed on the use of substandard materials in construction. Larry Calvin Tengenenke report.
It was a sad 13 February morning for the family members of Janet Tambu, a lady who died as a result of the collapsing of an extension of a nearby building in the town of Buea, precisely at the Dirty South neighborhood of Moliko.
Then my late brother, we did a victim, we died for the accident. Today we own 3 Peking, with junior brother and other cousin. They be there for house. So I do hear shout around I can pass 3 because I be up there past 3 going to 4. I hear shout around come up empty see side the noise come up. Come see the noise come on but the small hot to make up for them. My elder brother and my late brother wife.
The said structure that caused dark clouds is quite visible as the degree of substandard materials that were used in the construction process all attest to the fact. This happened prior to warnings from the Buea Council, who asked the set owner to stop work.
We don't make attachment. They be stopped by council. The council for quarter complain about them. They write demolish. It seems we I don't know. It continue with the work, so I don't get no other thing where I feel talk. So not only the law if you take a course for you now, life be lost, they be renters, they don't get house. Everywhere for me back in here, they don't really because my own small hut, then I don't find a certain right from July at the biggest place, I don't know. Now only government really know which way to hit solve with the problem. Because the person in question we get the house in America.
The happening affected some 10 persons while leaving the breadwinner of the family dead.
So all the whole entire family be shot. So now by the grace of God, 10 people will be chopped up inside this storeroom. Tears, the whole family, tears. Because already the master day of late, the day they help me hand the make them send me a big fine, a school, me feed me all support. In short, you know, the government is really going to see to this type of people.
Buea that has not been witness to such incident like the collapsing of buildings, this Dirty South incident in Moliko neighborhood is therefore a wake-up call to Buea Council and other local services in the town of Buea to do all the needful to prevent such occurrences from happening again, as this has led to the death of 1 person and 40 others injured.
Let's now take on one of our lead stories as President Paul Biya has prescribed self-employment as a way to cure youth unemployment in Cameroon. He also called on youth to shun away from embarking on risky journeys abroad. He was speaking during his traditional address to the youth on February 10th, as you hear in the following report.
It is often said that the youth are the backbone of every nation, future leaders, entrepreneurs, and employees who drive the economic growth and development. The role of these youths within these domains are therefore crucial. It is with these key concerns that the President of the Republic of Cameroon in his Youth Day traditional address underscores some areas of focus to better the youth.
Like your parents, you are concerned about the recent hike in fuel pump prices. You are also worried about the impact that it could have on your living conditions. Apart from the various support measures decided by me, constructive discussions are ongoing between the government and its social partners. My dear compatriots, for many years now, the bulk of the state budget has been devoted to the education sector. This affects the importance the authority attaches to your education. Over the years and at all levels of our educational system, new infrastructures have been built and more teachers trained and deployed.
Even though the government is trying to create avenues to integrate the youth, some may have to grab other means of becoming self-employed.
Self-employment is one of the best ways to achieve socio-professional integration, as neither the state nor the private sector can absorb the growing number of young people entering the labor market each year.
Mr. Lucas Musoke, a nation builder and a youth coach, emphasizes on the needs for the youth to be self-employed rather than depending on the government.
In the first situation, the head of state is very late. Despite being classified as late, lateness does not mean that's the end of life. So youth work to become self-employed, work to become independent, work to become entrepreneurial in your life. And you are going to make it in the next generation that is coming. So take this advice as it has come from the head of state. Take it, apply it in your life, and you will become different, because the government is overloaded and overburdened with a lot of things.
There is no doubt that the government can't employ everybody, so it is imperative for the youth to engage on things that will make them self-employed and improve the nation's growth.
Let's now have the echoes of the 58th Youth Day celebration in Cameroon. We begin in Buea, where youths were called upon to adhere to President Paul Biya's message of self-employment. They were also told to abide to the laws governing the different institutions in the country. The call was made by Governor Bernard Okala Bulai as he chaired the Youth Day celebration in the region. Tamfu Claudine tells us more.
Youths in Buea joined their parents in Cameroon to commemorate the 58th edition of the National Youth Day under the theme Youth Import, Substitution and Economic Patriotism for Cameroon's Development.
Enjoy a wonderful march past, a very important mobilization. The youth decided to come out despite all the threat and the manipulations. They have decided to come out, and like the past years, and so we want to congratulate our youth, want to congratulate their patriotism, and we have also had the opportunity to witness a whole week of activities during the weekdays. We discover their ingenuity, all what they are producing. So we want to invite the elders, the parents who are, to accompany the youth to sustain their initiative.
The celebrations that unfolded at the Bongo Square ceremonial grandstand was presided over by Southwest Governor Bernard Okala Bulai and the amazement of several spectators.
The theme, the import, substitution and economic patriotism, should be a reality. The youth are preparing many products, but they need to be empowered financially to produce more for the consumption of the population.
With an incredible increase in the number of schools and socio-political associations, the governor called on some young people who are still carrying arms to drop them as the government actions towards them remains resolute.
They should also contribute to pull out those who are still hanging around with weapons, to tell them that there is no way forward in that direction. The way forward is within the various institutions put in place by the head of state to empower them, to give them skill so that they should make good use of all the facilities and the opportunities put in place by the head of state and his government.
At the dawn of the 11 February celebrations in Buea, all youths in the region and nation have been reassured on government's goodwill towards them.
Still on Youth Day celebration in Cameroon, but this time around in Tiko, youth were told to be daring in a way to shape their future. The encouragement were given by the divisional officer of Tiko. As you tell us, Alice Kamelik here.
Youth in Tiko subdivision, just like youth in other parts of Cameroon, have manifested their patriotism to the nation Cameroon as they turn out en masse to celebrate the National Youth Day this February 11. The ceremony was chaired by the divisional officer for Tiko subdivision, who called on the youth to be honorable and focused.
The message is the same message the head of state, President of the Republic, has called upon the youth to remain focused, dynamic, to remain engaged in a Cameroon that has a bright future, to put all hands, shunning all form of decadence, immoral practices, drug abuse, and you name them, in order for them to foster ahead in a Cameroon that has everything.
This 58th edition in Tiko subdivision witnessed more improvement as compared to last year's celebration.
Today we have experienced a fever of enthusiasm in our youth to celebrate their Youth Day, which is the 58th edition, 2024. And truly speaking, we have seen a lot of excitement in our children willing to celebrate. Just like what we had last year, I think this year we have added more impetus to our own organization.
Tiko, being the gateway to the southwest region, has upgraded in many aspects, and the performance of the youth this day was beyond expectation.
Salute, a big congratulations to the population of Tiko, a big congratulations to the youths of Tiko, whom particularly are the owners of this day, a day which they have been honored to manifest their patriotism as far as the nation Cameroon is concerned. We want to congratulate the youths because all the activities manifested here this afternoon are in line with the request of the head of state and the speech that the head of state gave some 2 days ago.
Private schools, public institutions, bike riders, and the CPDM political party all together made the day a success.
Meanwhile, in Kumba, some youths adhered to the separatist called for Ghost Town in the northwest and southwest region during the celebration of the National Youth Day. In the following report, Rolantina Ngwari paints a picture of the atmosphere that reigned in Kumba last weekend. Her report.
Though the march past in Kumba was heavily attended by the youths, the streets were seen deserted for fear of the unknown. The busy streets and strategic areas of the town that usually is populated was seen almost empty. few bikes, vehicles, and persons could be seen going about their activities. Since the start of the crisis over 7 years back, the situation have been like this and gradually facing improvement. The population of the Northwest and Southwest regions still hope and dream for the return of normalcy in order for the population to enjoy the grandeur of such a day.
Let's now move to the Northwest region, where Governor Adolphe Lille-Lafrique called on the youth to be law-abiding and to be committed. He made a call at Bamenda Avenue, Commercial Avenue, last weekend, as we hear in the following report.
Youths in Bamenda Chief Town of the Northwest region of Cameroon have successfully celebrated the 58th edition of the National Youth Day on Sunday, February 11, 2024, chaired by the Governor of the Northwest region, Adolphe Lille-Lafrique. Under the theme, Youth Import, Substitution and Economic Patriotism for Cameroon's Development.
Pour l'accompagner dans l'émergence du Cameroun, et elle doit par conséquent se remobiliser pour être à l'avant-garde, s'agissant particulièrement de la région du Nord-Ouest. Je voudrais spécialement saluer la mobilisation des jeunes ici aujourd'hui. C'est un indicateur que la paix revient progressivement dans la région du Nord-Ouest. Elle est déjà là à Bamenda.
In spite of some security challenges faced by both Anglophone regions of Cameroon, youths of the Bamenda 1, 2 and 3 subdivisions gathered at the Bamenda Commercial Avenue Grandstand to honor and celebrate the National Youth Day. In the course of the Youth Day celebration, some youths encouraged others to be bilingual, think big, be creative, work hard and use secure methods in saving their money.
Many young people take the fancy and hide big holes and keep behind their houses. We are encouraging you to save your money in legalized financial services so that this money can keep turning and saving other young people who will be in need of physical cash. To round up, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have the official languages of the Republic of Cameroon being English and French. We are encouraging each and every one of us to put in efforts to become bilingual.
The Youth Day celebration was crowned with many activities such as match pass and handing over of awards to some persons in appreciation of their good works for fighting against violence.
We received this award today. The government has outlined us to be one among the best to give us this award today because of the work we've been doing, because we've been fighting gender-based violence in our community.
This year's Youth Day celebration in the town of Bamenda is that one can say a successful and peaceful come together, as it brought about the presence of youth associations, political parties, educational groups, administrative, traditional and religious authorities of the 3 subdivisions, who came to accompany the youths in the commemoration of the day set aside to celebrate youths across the national territory.
Youth Day celebration in Kambe, Dongamantung division of the Northwest region unfolded on a sad note, as one person died and several others were injured, with 4 people having their legs amputated following an explosion that occurred at the ceremonial ground, sending panic in the whole town. Larry Karabangi Tengening tells us more.
Youth Day celebrations in Kambe, the seat of power of the Dongamantung division of the Northwest region, was a sad one after the explosion of an improvised explosive device during the celebrations proper at the Kambe ceremonial grandstand.
Wait, there's a child there! A child has been wounded! That child has been wounded! That child has been wounded! Jesus is Lord! See, run!
This act of pandemonium that engulfed the atmosphere as children, the elderly could be seen running for safety. Leading to the circumstances before this event, Kambe has been an island of peace in the turbulent Northwest region.
The population is determined more than ever before to continue on with their normal life. We are not after anybody, and Kambe will never succumb to threats.
mobilize his security services to run after the assailant. The 3 of them have already been caught and they are under serious investigation. The total number of those that were victim of that incident are close to 40, among which 4 are seriously wounded. There is 1 person dead.
The next day, Monday, 12 February 2024, women in the town of Cambes staged a peaceful protest at the site where the incident happened as they were leading to the Front Palace. The explosion that was carried out by separatist fighters has left 1 dead and 40 others injured, while some 4 persons had their legs amputated.
In the Far North region, Governor Mijiyawa Bakari urged the youth to be entrepreneurial as the region joined the rest of Cameroon to commemorate the National Youth Day. Details with Hightover's Far North correspondent Mubarak Yawuba. You're watching her review. We're broadcasting live from Southwest Region's capital, Buea. Buea-based servant of God, Apostle John Chi has carried out the humanitarian gestures towards some Muslim faithfuls residing in Yaoundé. The move to him is a way to foster the gospel of Jesus. As he tells us, Alice Kamelik here.
It was a colorful event celebrated with patriotism by young Cameroonians in the Far North region. Youth Day celebrations have been a magical moment for children drawn from the primary school to the secondary one. The march past in front of administrative authorities of the region shows the massive turnout of this generation of youth in different ceremonial grounds. Branding messages, singing patriotism sounds are some of the magnification of the 58th edition of Youth Day in Marwa. As the term set aside for this year's celebration stipulated, youth import substitution, patriotism for economic growth, professional training school demonstrate it. With love and passion for agriculture, livestock and fishery, young learners have also participated to Youth Day celebrations in their own way. The same atmosphere of the National Youth Day celebration have been observed in Tokombere, in the Mayosava division of the Far North region. Despite security challenges faced by Boko Haram, youth in Tokombere say no matter how, they are determined to promote peace. Generations of youth have come and gone, but passion remains the same.
In their continuous quest to put quality smiles on the faces of the vulnerable population, John Chi Foundation and partners have once again demonstrated that with love in our hearts, work in our hands, Christianity could better be practiced. This is the inspiration of their reach out to the Muslim community in Yaoundé.
The John Chi Foundation is all about a nation to build, a world to change. You and I are included. It's all about using our gifts to reach out to a troubled world.
Handing over consignments made up of 1,000 bags of rice, cash gifts of 3 million CFA, plus wheelchairs to some vulnerable and physically challenged personalities. The Apostle of God maintains that the gesture is their own way to show love to their fellow Muslim brothers and sisters.
If one is waiting for a more convenient time, that convenient time will never come. So the time is now to reach out to the less privileged.
Overwhelmed with such a move, the Muslim community offered special prayer for God to bless the works of their benefactors.
Like I said earlier, we are here to express our love. You know, these are difficult times. And in these difficult times, we need to reach out to the less privileged, the physically challenged. We are created to make a tangible contribution in the life of someone in need.
It would be recalled that this is not the first time the John Chi Foundation is reaching out to the Muslim community.
Away from that, the spread of obscene images on different social media outlets is now a call for concern as users of this platform in Cameroon and around the world embark on the practice. In the report that comes up next, Daniel Ikome puts this phenomenon into perspective.
The coming in place of smartphones in today's world has helped many persons within the society and beyond to facilitate communication amongst friends and families. With its main objective to close the gap of distance communication, many has turned to change the dynamics of its usage.
All the devices that are created for a positive usage in the first place. But negative human beings bring in their negativity to devices. So I wish to reiterate on this point. Cell phones and other electronic gadgets are created for positive use. But it is negative human beings that bring negativity into these devices. And their negativity, which is ethically or morally decadent, is what brings the problems which we find today in our society, whereby young people are using cell phones for negative purposes.
Going by the recent times, it has been observed that lovers of these devices often find pleasures in using them to take images of incidents that they could have given a helping hand to save victims.
In advanced society, people know that the life of a human being is more important. So when a human being is in a difficult situation, the first thing to do is to rescue that human being. That's the first thing to do, is to rescue that human being. And our society needs to learn this. You don't need to be filming a difficult situation, a challenging situation, when the person or the people involved are in a very difficult situation. The first thing to do is to rescue these people.
The widely use of these tools in recording and exposing gruesome images is a call for concern.
The people who are filming such situations at times, if they are caught, they should be dealt with. Because you cannot see somebody in a difficult situation. Instead of rushing to rescue the person in that difficult situation, you are busy filming a situation where probably somebody is dying, somebody is going through a situation. It's a very bad practice, which must be seriously discouraged at all times.
While some uses it for research, buying and selling online, others tend to use them for negative purposes, like the recent incident in Kambe, northwest region of Cameroon.
People should prioritize on the lives of human beings. When human beings are going through a difficult situation, whatever, the first thing to do is, how can I rescue this person? It's not the images that you show that matter, because those images are of no use if that person finally dies, or that person finally finds himself in that difficult situation and the person cannot be rescued. Rescue comes first. The security and the life of the human being should be valued, and it comes first. It's not the images that are gathered from such scenes. So we are calling upon youth, especially who are so given to such practices of filming negative things instead of seeing how to rescue these situations. It's a very bad practice that should be seriously condemned and discouraged in our society.
As the smartphone keeps on increasing in our society, lovers of them should exercise caution when taking images, especially like roads and fire incidents where casualties of victims are involved.
The Minister of Water Resources and Energy, Gaston Esundu Elumba, has charged the new manager of the National Refining Company, Bakuma Roruna, to do all it takes to ensure the reconstruction of the company. Details in the upcoming report.
Board of Directors of the National Refinery Company, Sonara, are meeting for an extraordinary board session at the company's headquarters in Limbe, as it is being presided over by Cameroon's Minister of Water Resources and Energy, Gaston Elundu Isomba, with the main message being the reconstruction of Sonara by the new general manager.
I therefore urge you, as project owner, to take earnestly steps to recruit a financial and technical partner to rebuild with upgrading the damaged infrastructure. It is new in its new configuration. The refinery must be fitted with hydrocracking units that will enable Cameroon's crude oil to be refined to the heavy molecule in order to upgrade the distillate and produce noble products that are sold at higher prices on the market.
A turning point during the extraordinary board session is the appointment of Bako Haruna as the company's new general manager, something which he appreciates the President of the Republic while acknowledging the Herculean task that awaits him.
Allow me to thank His Excellency, our illustrious Head of State, for the confidence he has put upon my person. I know that the challenges are very much, and I will do my best. I will do my best to merit the confidence of the Head of State. Thank you very much.
Reminded the newly appointed, Minister Gaston Elundu Isomba called on Bako Haruna to ensure the prices of hydrocarbon products in the country are being put on the abbey by making sure that the workability of the said structure is put in place.
With regard to Sonara's import activities, I urge you to pay special attention to making petroleum products available on the domestic market, as you have been instructed, with an 80% share by the states.
With the coming into place of Bako Haruna, who till the time of his appointment was serving as general manager of Cameroon Oil Transportation Company, COTCO, is a moment of high hopes. He takes over from Simo Jumo Jean-Paul, who has served the parastater as GM for close to 5 years now. Bako Haruna is married to his wife and a father of children.
Some youths who graduated from the Tuba Empowerment Center have received prizes. The gesture from the Tuba Council officials came after the youth completed their training in tailoring, catering, and computer science, amongst others. Alice Kamelik here tells us more.
Following the head of state speech encouraging the youth to be self-employed, these youths who just graduated from the Tuba Youth Empowerment Center received sewing machines and a sum of 50,000 francs each to start up.
I thank the parliamentarians for empowering us for these our machines so that we may plan in our future successfully, so that others should learn from us.
The donation was done by the representative of their constituency, Honorable Agu Olivia Bamenjung, MP for Bafut Tuba.
And then when the head of state talked about self-employment on the 10th of February, when he was addressing the youth, he paid much attention to self-employment to the extent that he himself acknowledged that neither the public sector nor the private sector can guarantee full employment for the thousands of young youths who are leaving training institution into the job market. I saw it as an opportunity to support these young ones so that they can be self-employed.
According to Mayor of Tuba Council, since Honorable Agu Olivia became MP, changes like development and encouragement are being noticed.
We are seeing changes in terms of encouragement, development, assistance to the needy, to the population, which is what we have been expecting long ago from our elected officials. The council is always at the disposal of the population. Like we are starting out today after giving machines to the young ones from the training center from Bafut and Tuba. We are preparing to send in hundreds of youths and population to the field for cassava cultivation.
The head of the Tuba Youth Empowerment Center encouraged the gesture.
We are working without any material. We try to contribute the little we can and then we train these youths with it.
I know it can help us to sponsor my children in school, pay my house rents, and feed the family, and even those who don't have.
It is hoped that these youths who have received this day, after empowering themselves, also empowers others.
The Minister Delegate at the Ministry of Economy, Planning and Regional Development, Paul Tasong, has wrapped up a one-day lecture conference on Government's National Development Plan Strategy SND30 with students of the National School of Local Administration here in Buea. Details with Larry Kelvin Yetengenek, who took part in that conference.
The Minister Delegate at the Ministry of Economy, Planning and Regional Development, Paul Tasong, is having a lecture conference with the students of the National School of Local Administration, NASLA.
We came here on instructions from our hierarchy, Prime Minister of Government, to drill the students and staff of the National School of Local Administration on the National Development Strategy. You want to know that, given that it's a specific school, whose mission is to train senior staff for the regional and local administration.
With a word of welcome from the school's Director General Tanyitiku Achua Enobae, who lauds the coming of the Yaoundé delegation as the minister appreciates the exchanges between his accompanied delegation and the students.
Local development. We think so far so good because during the question and answer session, we opted to ask the students to evaluate the company by telling us what they have understood. And the few who took the first offer, to be that they understood the message, they understood the steps, and to a large extent the responsibility which is theirs as the future local, regional administration public service.
The thematic point of the conference was the National Development Plan in Cameroon, the context of decentralization and local development.
One of the main challenges of ramping up on the decentralization process has been the question of a public service adapted to the context of decentralization. And with the setting up of this prestigious school, it was but normal that we accept the invitation of the administration of the school to enable the staff and the students to understand that planning is not reserved for the central administration, and that there is need for planning at the level of the regions and at the level of the municipalities.
After the fruitful exchanges and long hours of presentation between the delegation and the student, Minister Tasong took off time to inspect some ongoing construction works that are ongoing in the school, something which he lauds the school authorities for doing a marvelous job. With the dawn of this one-day conference, the delegation left the campus of NASLA quite satisfied.
It is here that we draw the curtains on our review today. Many thanks for watching. I've been Cynthia Latu. Until we meet again next Saturday, God willing, to have a blessed weekend in the company of programs on High Television.